I'd like to thank all of you for coming down this morning. I'm going to speak for a few minutes, a little bit more specifically about what New Technology High School is. There's a lot of initiatives throughout the state. It's very exciting, but a lot of folks still don't understand the real push for new tech in high schools across the state. And I just want to tell you a little bit about our experiences in IPS and the goals and the initiatives that we're pushing for, and with New Tech High being what we consider one of the tools to reach those goals. New Technology High is one of the many initiatives that IPS is trying to bring to the city of Indianapolis with an idea that we need to approach high school education differently. As the economy changes, as the world changes, high school education is still, in many places throughout the country, the same as it was in the 1950s. And we have tried many initiatives in IPS, and one of the things that we really are focusing on is our delivery. How do we teach students in the 21st century in a way that leaves real lasting impact, where kids really have an educational experience? In my experience as a high school educator, I often found that students enjoyed my classroom, but I wondered what they were really taking out of it. IPS, the New Technology High School, is one of IPS's ways that they are trying to reach a different class of high school students. We are trying to offer academic honors diplomas to all of our students. New Tech High is one of those initiatives. We have two classes. We started last year in 2007, and now we have another class of students in 2008. And we have two classes. We have 180 students there. And what we do is we run essentially a project-based learning environment. Next slide, please. A project-based learning environment is the way we try and address what is considered 21st century professional skills in education circles. Only in high school do students go, sit for 45 minutes, do some rote task, move on to something completely unrelated, and do that 7 times throughout the day, come back the next day and start again. And in the professional world, that's not what we do. We never do. We are networkers, we're collaborators, we're presenters, we're folks that try and reach goals. We organize, manage time. And if you think about it, I went to high school in the 80s. I never learned any of those type of skills. No one ever sat with me and worked with me on how does this content apply to you, and how do you use it when you become a professional, when you go out into the university world. How does it connect with the broader community? We've tried those type of initiatives for 20 years, but how to exactly do that was never really put forth for us as educators or for community members. And New Technology High really offers a unique chance to do that. All of our content is done in an interdisciplinary fashion, which means we have 2 teachers in each classroom from 2 different disciplines. And they plan all of their curriculum around large, we'll call them umbrella-based projects, where students have a presentation or some material due in 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time. And they work collaboratively in groups. And we teach them what it means to be a collaborative project manager. We teach them leadership skills on a daily basis. We sit with them, sometimes in small groups, 4, 6, 8 students, and we make sure that the content is not only available to them, but also is clear enough for them that they can reach a critical thinking level, that they can go to another stage. The differentiation of education is the key to reaching students. There are some students that are ready to fly through algebra in 9 weeks, and there are some students who need work on skills. And in a traditional classroom, that's almost impossible to address. Students who are ready to move on and students who are not. But in a new tech classroom, with students working in large project-based settings, we have a higher student or a lower student to teacher ratio, and we have larger blocks of time for students to work and engage in critical thinking. What we try and do is we try and make computers, technology, a resource that students can use to further that critical thinking. Our students at New Tech High at Arsenal have one-to-one access to laptops, and that is their connection to the New Tech learning system. The New Tech learning system is similar to those of you who used Lotus Notes at one time. It's interactive, and it allows for students to do many of the things that we would consider traditional learning, but also to have interaction with their teachers and other students throughout the school, and eventually the mentors and internship programs that we're setting up that we can bring in as resources in the classroom. We try and set all of our projects up so they have a tie to an external partner. So if we're doing research in a biology classroom on a cancer project, we'll bring in folks from the March of Dimes to talk about that. We'll try and bring students a different perspective about their content. So what we're doing at New Technology High is trying to take the content that we at IPS have always tried to produce at a very high level and make it engaging to keep those students engaged in high school. A lot of our students, the best of our students, are very good at high school, but it is a stepping stone to somewhere else. It's not a true educational experience. And we've learned, many of us who are experienced, that those students who are really engaged are those students who really bring something out of their high school experience and take it to the professional world or the university. So that's just a little overview of what we try and do at New Tech. The successes, next slide, please. The successes we've had, we're in our second year, and the successes we have are immediate, especially if you visit New Technology High School. If you come to a New Tech school, the culture immediately is very different from what folks are used to in a school. A school we think of a lot of times as desks in a row, teacher up front, child. A New Tech school looks much more like this, with the tables together, folks collaborating, people moving about, discussion. It looks much more like a 21st century workplace. It looks much more like a university upper level classroom. Because that's the type of education that is really engaging. It's going to bring students back. Attendance at New Tech High is the highest attendance on Arsenal Tech's campus. We've had terrific luck with, traditionally the freshmen are very hard to keep at Arsenal Tech's campus. It's a 77-acre campus. You know, when they come from the middle school to the high school, a lot of times that can be very distracting. But we've had a lot of luck. Our discipline problems are way down. Our suspension rate last year was cut by 70%. And a lot of that is just pure engagement. Students like school. They're getting something out of it. It means something to them. And so they're more engaged, they're more apt to come, and they're more apt to engage what we consider professional behavior. Our motto there is trust, respect, and responsibility. That we trust them with a different way of being educated, and in return they give us more respect and responsibility. And it works. Our students are staying after school in large numbers. We started a philanthropy club, we started service organizations, and we have 25, 30, 35 students daily staying to be involved in those programs. All of these are just a pattern that we're trying to reproduce that eventually will bring all of our students into the 21st century world ready to engage. Not having to go to college and pick up some skills, but already having those skills and ready to become productive 21st century professionals. Thank you.